What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Kalistos, bringing you another video for War and Order. And for today's subjects we have the Castle Wars. I'm gonna be doing two parts to this video. The first part I'm gonna be giving you all the numbers, strategies and tips to help you build your own strategy to defeat every single level. And for the second part of the video I'm gonna pretty much give you the cheats for it. I'm gonna give you a full 3-star run from level 1 to level 15, which you can use to either guide you, or you could just copy paste what I'm doing and just defeat every single level. Either way you choose, I would advise you to watch the entire video as there's a lot of useful information in it. So let's start. Also, before we start with the tutorial, another thing I want to say is for all the new players that want to join War and Order, this is the time to do it. In the description below you're gonna find a link to install the game, and afterwards if you go into the settings and the pack, you can use my gift code Kalistos and get a free bonus for all the new players that join War and Order. All these details are in the description below, so make sure you check it out. Okay, so let's start with the basics. The castle wars are introduced to the players from the very first levels of their castle, and it's pretty much basic way. You put the tower, it deals damage, you kill the monsters. But the higher you go into the levels, the more demanding the strategy becomes. And that's where it's important to know what each tower does and what it's good for, to know when and where to use it. The first important information we have right when you go into the menu from Castle Wars, on the right you have the information of the towers themselves, because each tower comes with a bonus depending on your castle. So this is my information on the castle, but your castle may be different, so please check out on your castle what towers get what buffs. Now personally I believe that the towers themselves and their specific strategy is more important than the buffs, but when you're stuck in the decision between one or the other, the buffs is an easy decision maker. Okay, so first of all, these are the numbers that you have for each level of each tower to understand how the damage is distributed, because it is pretty important to know if it's worth developing the tower to a max level or it's simply worth having it there even at level 1. But to better understand that, we need to talk about each tower itself and what it's good for. First of all, we talk about the crossbows. Now the crossbows, the best thing about them is the range and the fast fire. This is something you want to use as a backup damage for a clutch. And a clutch, I mean a place where a lot of monsters will gather around, and you're gonna have a lot of other towers keeping them into place and focusing on certain things. But the crossbows are the ones that are gonna fire from the distance and give you that extra damage, especially if you have a lot of running low HP troops. They are perfect for it. Even as you saw that my crossbows actually have the least bonus damage from all the towers, I still use them a lot, and you will see that in the full run. Second of all, we have the cannon towers. Now this is where the AoE damage comes into place. Now personally I didn't use them a lot, because as much as AoE damage is amazing when you have a lot of grouped monsters, and you will find that actually a lot during the levels, but it never feels like it's enough to be worth it. I actually prefer to use the crossbows in combination with other towers and much less the cannons. You're gonna see me, I think, in one level where I specifically use the cannons because how easy it is to gather all the monsters in one place. The cannon towers were perfect for it. But I personally actually don't use them that much. Either way, if you do get a map where you have a good clutch of monsters in one spot, the cannon towers are a lifesaver. Even if they're not gonna kill the monsters, they're gonna do a lot of damage to make it much easier for the next towers to finish them off. Afterwards we have the frost towers. Now there's a few things to know about the frost tower. First of all, the slow does not stack up. So having 20 towers in the same spot is not gonna give you more slow than having just one, which means you should actually spread them out evenly. You want to cover as much space, especially if you are on a map where there's a lot of monsters or very fast monsters, you want to keep them in control to give time for the other towers to deal the damage, especially in combination with the spell tower, which we're going to talk about in a second. These are a must. Now the damage from the frost tower is dealt continuously through the duration that the monsters are on the frost area. I personally do not focus on the damage it deals, but more on the slow, as that is the most important factor about it. And I like to position them in certain strategic points to keep in check the mass of monsters coming towards the castle. And I usually just increase the level of the frost towers, not for the extra damage, but to increase the range that the slow is applied to. You should always look for positionings where you could use the least amount and the lowest level to cover as much area with your frost towers. With that said, don't get carried away, as it doesn't matter how much you slow the monsters, you still have to kill them. And for last, we have the spell tower, and this is a lifesaver when it comes to high HP monsters, and you're gonna encounter quite a lot, especially at higher levels. And as I said before, this is something you want to combine together with your frost towers. More importantly, your spell towers deal damage over time, so the longer the tower is in contact with the monster, the more damage you're gonna get out of it. And the damage is pretty substantial, and the best part about them, they are single target. Now that is also a bad thing, because if you have a lot of low HP monsters, the towers actually don't get to focus them enough, and therefore a lot of them will slip away. So you want to be combining this with other towers like the crossbow, for example. As you're gonna see in my run, I always use the spell towers in corners to get the maximum amount of damage out of them, together with the frost tower. Again, I usually use the frost towers at level 1 and only increase the level to have a higher range, to give the spell tower as much time as possible. And no matter if you have the bonus or not like I do, the spell towers are a must to kill all the high HP monsters. Your crossbows won't have enough damage, and nothing else will except the spell towers. But again, the spell towers would automatically focus only on the high HP monsters once they come into range. So if you have a lot of low HP together with the high HP, the spell towers are there to kill the main target. But then you're gonna be needing other towers like the crossbow to deal with the lower ones. And with this basic information out of the way, I think we pretty much covered the utility of each tower. Now it's time to put them into practice, and here it is, the full run, level 1 to level 15, all 3 stars. Enjoy.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Prepare to die. Prepare to die. Welcome to a whole new world. Your planet is now under Mid-Ranger's control. Humanity will be exterminated. If you hear this message, do not try to leave. Do not try to fight. Do not try to resist. You will be eliminated. You will be eliminated.
Okay guys, so that was the full run. I hope it helped you out, especially if you were stuck at a certain level and you just couldn't find the right strategy for it. Maybe my strategy will work for you. If you want me to do another video similar to this one where I'm gonna be talking about the hard mode for this, then just leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video and you found it helpful, don't forget to click that like button, as it will help me out with the channel. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell button to get notified of all the new guides coming out. But that's it from me guys. Thanks again for checking in, and I'll see you in the next videos.